Hello, my name is Scotty from Hypnotherapy.com. This is the first in a series of self-hypnosis files entitled The Healing Mindset. Modern medicine has developed a myriad of new tests, drugs, and procedures in recent history. However, with all the latest scientific treatment options and techniques available to the patient, one issue strikes me as inadequately explored. That is, what is the patient's role towards her or his own healing? Well, my proposition is that the patient can always help by developing a healing mindset. My goal is to help individual participants better understand what a healing mindset is by serving as a guide into that state of being. The basic theory rests on this assumption. Regardless of the individual situation, circumstances, history, or condition, healing is a process. In other words, there is a basic pattern that takes place during any type of healing. And if this is true, and if we uncover that pattern, then we should be able to align our minds and our actions to fit more closely into that pattern. And ask yourself this question. If you were to align your mind and actions with such a healing process, would that make it more likely for your body to follow? Is there a state of mind that promotes healing? An attitude? A healing mindset? Well, I decided it was at least worth it to try and find out. Using the latest techniques, I put together the most comprehensive program that I could imagine. I believe that the healing mindset can be adapted to any aspect of life, be it physical, mental, or spiritual. I'm not here to guarantee miracles. I'm simply wondering, if you sincerely choose to utilize these files on your own healing journey, will you be doing your very best to invite one? The healing mindset does not require any previous experience with self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis is a skill you get better at with practice, so repetition is beneficial. It is also helpful to listen in a comfortable place, minimizing the chances for distraction. I also suggest listening to these files with stereo headphones for maximum effect. And lastly, repetition is beneficial. If you currently have a serious medical condition, please ask your doctor first if he or she has any reason that you should not be using self-hypnosis to increase your response to medical treatment. And if your doctor is later surprised by how well your treatment is going, you might also remind him or her how you've been helping. In order to help you decide if this project is something you wish to participate in, I can give you a better idea of how it will work by enjoying a short journey into imagination. To begin, you can simply pause the file here if you need to in order to make any necessary arrangements for your comfort, and resume when you are settled. Very good. I'd like to begin with closing our eyes down and allowing my voice to float by. Hypnosis is something you can experience later if you wish, but right now just enjoy creating a relaxing mood inside your body. Finding any muscles that may be holding on for no good reason and letting them go. Listening to my voice as you relax, you may also notice your breath as you begin to imagine, simply creating space and allowing your mind to play. After all, nobody ever said that this was going to be boring. Beginning by imagining yourself at the top of a spiral staircase with 10 stairs. Perhaps smiling if you remember doing this before, pretending to place your imaginary hand on the railing as you take the first step down. 9. Each step, each number, as you descend 8, slowly and gently down, and 7, down deeper with each step, letting 6, the steps pull you relaxed. With each 5, you go deeper down as you relax into your step 4, beginning to see a door at the bottom. 3, closer now as relaxation happens while you too see the door close to you. And 1 right in front of the door now, wooden and intricate, but strange in one respect. There is no doorknob, no handle, only an oversized, odd-looking keyhole. You press gently on the door to find it locked shut in front of you. Strange door. What do you do now, after all? You didn't bring a key with you that would fit that size of keyhole. As you take one more deep breath in, simply awaiting inspiration, something out of your relaxation begins to arise. You feel it flow into your hand and watch as your hand becomes outstretched. Your finger slowly extending towards that strange, odd keyhole, and now just as your finger touches the keyhole, but before you realize it, the keyhole itself begins to turn. Startled, you pull your hand back and watch as you hear the keyhole release the mysterious mechanism, and the door begins to swing open towards you. Beyond it, opening up into an inviting mountain meadow. The temperature of the cool, fresh air tickles the hairs on your arms as you begin to enter the warm sunlight. Feeling the grass beneath your feet, the sweet smell of flowers carried by the breeze, the sun is warm from you inside out. You recall briefly thinking that you're not sure where you are, but all your senses indicate that this place is unique somehow. The sense of peace, the sense of calm, the sense of beauty is everything inviting. Things simply seem right here. And you feel welcome, perhaps even called to this place as you scan your surroundings: snow-capped mountains off in the far distance, the open meadow beneath you, crystal clear blue sky above, and the early afternoon sun warming it all. There's an old stone building off in the distance, and what you can barely make out looks like other people walking around. The sound of a stream. A forest just beyond the building, rising up the base of the mountains. And just in front of you looks like a wooden sign up there. It has arrows pointing in various directions and some writing that's too small to see until you walk over to read. You chuckle a little bit as you read the sign, and the directions has an arrow pointing forward that reads, "Continue," and one arrow that points back and it says, "Maybe later." Shrugging off the funny little sign, you notice a small path leading off to the right. Looking down at your feet as you navigate the dirt path, not knowing why you're going this way exactly, but it seems curious. Glancing along the way to notice the flowers, the birds, the peace, the air, the sun. Stepping off the path now into soft grass as you approach that curious mound of grass sticking up a few feet above the landscape, flat around it. It looks like a rather unique place to sit atop and take in the beauty of this place. Yet as you get closer, you begin to wonder if this little grassy mound has grown over something. Perhaps it was that one leaf that seems to be a little different color, a little different shape that gave you the idea without knowing it. Noticing now, yes indeed, that leaf is different. It almost looks like a tree leaf underneath all that grass. Your hand is reaching out to pull back some of the grass and explore further.
Howdy!
You freeze.
Sorry to startle you. The name's Ding. What's yours? Oop. Beg your pardon, never mind that. Forget the rules are a bit different around
Ding removes
here.
his straw hat and bows slightly.
From the look in your eyes, seems you're new. Well, tell you what, I'm gonna tell you all the things I wish I knew when I got here. Always wanted to do that. Oh, you could put your hand down if you want. Sometimes it helps to be reminded. One of those things you get used to. Have a seat.
Ding sits on the ground with his back towards the mound and facing what looks like the west, judging from the direction the sun is headed towards the distant mountains.
The first thing to remember is to always start by just starting. And well, since you're here, I guess it looks like you already did that. Okay, second thing. I don't know if this place has a name, but I hear people calling it the Sanctuary. Used to think they was meaning that little temple thingy up there, but it seems like they call everything around here the Sanctuary. That's what I do anywho, and it's been getting me along just fine. Maybe that's the thing though. Oh, sorry. I'm meaning that it seems you can make this place your own. Perhaps. Well, probably, I don't know. Everything's up to you. Call it what you want, I don't know. I guess at some point I decided to respect things as they are. So I don't go monkeying around with... What? Oh, well, I suppose that's not true neither. You see that little patch of ground up there that looks different from the rest? Just off to the side of that little temple thingy. Yeah, guess I need a new name for that. In Anywho, there's a little shed up there. Yep, that's where I spend my time. Built me a little, well, yeah, not in the shed. Well, sometimes in the shed, but the next to it is the garden. Yes, that's where I spend my time. I built me a garden. Didn't ask nobody for permission. Just did it. Everybody seemed to like it just fine. Yeah, probably because that little patch of ground there grows the best vegetables I could ever dream of. Everybody's welcome to it, you included, by the by. No, anywho, that little spot there started out perfect, and she just keeps getting better and better. Go figure. I often do, actually. Try to figure it. Anywho, I usually stand on my garden, leaning on my rake, watching this here sunset, doing my figuring. Just like a moment ago, and I noticed something in my landscape was a little different this time. Saw a silhouette out here next to this lump of grass. Yeah, your silhouette. Thought to myself, you know what, Self? How many times have you been standing here, wondering what that little lump of grass is out there? What you know, some curious little soul is gonna go figure it before you do. Don't know why I didn't think about just coming on out and figuring it for myself. Anywho, I told myself I want to know too. So I did. And I came out here, and I guess that's how I got here. Yeah. Oh yes. Anywho, the lump of grass, that's right. Shoots, nearly forgotten. About time I figured that out, huh? Needs a new name, though, don't you reckon? A baby tree, you say it is? Huh. Well, I don't know if I could have dreamed that one up. Huh. So you was gonna pull the grass back, I see, so it could get some sun. Yes, sounds like a fine and dandy way to go on. Yeah. Well, off you go. Pleased to meet you. I'll be in the garden mostly, I reckon. Unless anyway. Anywho, just remember you're welcome anywhere, any time. Feel free to visit. Yeah, okay. Most folks are here for all the same reasons. Oh, one moment. I was gonna tell you the things I wanted to know. Yes. Oh, almost forgotten. Well, it's important that you know that things work different here. Well, maybe not all that different, but anyways, there's rules. Yes, the rules. Yes, I'll tell you that. Say, that little tree you done discovered. Yeah, you can monkey it if it pleases you that way, but here things ain't just as they are. Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah. So, that little tree there, that's a dream. Yeah. No telling how old that dream has been there, neither. You know all about bonsai plants, yes, ancient Japanese art, very intricate. Well, I'll tell you anyhow, because whether you already know all about them or not, it's more important that I tell you. Part of my healing. You follow? Anywho, when a plant doesn't have enough space to grow, it don't. Okay, that's what a bonsai is. And so maybe that tree's been like that for ages, maybe not, who knows. No way to tell unless I suppose you know when it first started to grow. But, well, then I suppose even that's hard to know the closer you look. Oh, anywho, don't know whose dream that tree was, right? Maybe nobody's, everybody's, I don't know, but one thing I know, the rules. If you start putting your attention to it, I'm darn sure it's part yours. Okay? Shoots. Okay. Yeah. What am I trying to say? The point is, the rules. You give a plant some room to grow, it might just start doing that, okay? It's gonna get all excited and start growing and making new hope all over the place. Sounds good and all, yes, but then if you don't come back and care for it again, the grass is just gonna come back and smother it. and it's gonna be sad. That tree is gonna be sad. It's gonna be even worse off than it is now, 'cause it got all growy, and then you left it, and it got covered up again, okay? Don't kill the dream. Shoots, I'm not trying to win an Oscar here. The point is the rules, right? If you start to care for that dream, you act all good and responsibility to it becomes part of you, part of your dreams, part of your sanctuary, part of your mind. And then, if you walk away and neglect it, whether you realize it or not, you are going to carry that neglected tree in your mind. Okay? Now I know that's all a bit dramatic, but I'm just telling you how things work here at the sanctuaries. I'm just telling you what I wish I knew. Responsibility's a bit strange, okay? That tree ain't really your fault. Okay? Even if it were, lots of things outside your control is gonna happen no matter what. That's one thing I know for sure. Well, anywho, what you reckon's up to you. Just letting you know what I think the rules are, okay? Before you go and change them. Guess I like to see the elegance in it all, you know? Anywho, I'm just here to help, rambling on. Part of my healing, you see, it helps abundant here. Back to the garden for me, yes. If you decide to care of this little guy, the shed's full of tools, and I can give you pointers. Just make sure you put the tools back where you got them. There's a little wash station next to the shed. A little brush for the tools, that's the green one. Another brush for your hands, that's the pink one. Okay? Well, if you dream it that way, I suppose. Anywho, off I go.
Ding stands tall, staring off into the distance, his eyes slowly rolling up into the top of his skull, eyelids closing down now, his arms slightly outstretched. A radiant happiness appears from behind his smile, and suddenly he shakes his head out of it.
See you soon. Or, well, maybe. Anywho, okay.
He salutes before turning and walking slowly away. Your attention turns back to the one little green leaf poking out from under that tangle of grass. Knowing you have a decision to make. Not knowing how this tree is related to your health, yet remembering that's how you got here. Knowing that if you choose to take on this responsibility, you have no guarantees on how it will turn out. Knowing all that, wondering if you are ready to uncover and care for the mysteries here, as you feel asked to make your answer at a later time. Respecting that desire as you return back to the path, retracing your steps, taking a few glances to soak in the surroundings, the mountains, the sun, as it nearly begins to sink behind them. Wandering back on the path now, back to the door, stepping through the door, closing the door tightly behind you as you reach again for the handrail, stepping up one by one, 2, returning, 3, from this strange 4 experience, 5, feeling more, 6, excited to take, 7, this experience back with you, 8, 9, energy rushing up your body, and 10, eyes open. Thank you for your attention and your interest in creating a healing mindset. And while you may wish to listen to more than one session per day, You might also notice how your time between sessions is affected, how what you work on in these sessions tends to manifest outside of these sessions in the upcoming days, weeks, and months. How your dedication to this project, the healing process, and your own health are related. The more you put into these sessions, the more you are likely to get out of them. A link to the second session is in this video and in the description below. If there are any people you feel may benefit from a project like this, please share the link to this file with them. More information about hypnotherapy and why it works is also available on my website, scottyhypnotherapy.com.